you want to do more than follow orders, think outside of the box, and manifest your dreams? Then you've come to the right show. Welcome to the award-winning podcast, Holding Down the Fort by US VetWealth. I'm your host, Jen Amos, a Gold Star daughter, veteran spouse, and entrepreneur. For Season 7, I am ecstatic to be in partnership with the Rosie Network to highlight motivational stories of personal growth, financial awareness, and autonomy in our military community. Now, let's get started. Wow. Hey, everyone. First and foremost, if this is your first time listening to Holding Down the Fort, you've come to the best season ever. And I'll get into that a little shortly. The reason why is because this show has been running since summer 2019 out of a desire to learn more about the military community. And fast forward to today, thanks to just the village that it took for the show to exist and to be sustainable and to keep moving on, I am so happy to be here today to share with all of you how much more refined and clear this show is now and moving forward. So yeah, I'm incredibly excited. I actually do not have a script for this episode. I'm talking impromptu right now. Granted that my editor is making me sound good. So thank you, Dennis. Shout out to you. And wow, I got to tell you, this may be the first episode you're listening to. And to everyone else who's been following the show, welcome back. I know it's been a year. It's been a year since we ended our last season. And a couple of weeks ago, we did say goodbye to my amazing co-host, Jenny Lynch Troop. So shout out to Jenny Lynch Troop. And I am carrying the torch from here. No pressure. And I am incredibly excited. As I've mentioned in the intro of the show, we've come a long way. The show has come a long way in the year that we have been off season. And I have a couple of articles that have recently come out about all the changes and all of the love and heart and intention put into this next season. And so I'm really just going to give you the bite-size background info and really just get to some quick call to actions here. And, unless I just end up rambling, we're going to see. I'm literally coming up with this as I go. Kind of. I have like some notes. And my hope is, this season I get to be a little bit more candid with all of you. And I hope to take you through an incredible story of people in our military community who, as I had mentioned in the intro here, who are actively aspiring for more than following orders, thinking outside of the box, and manifesting their dreams. For Season 7, this is the first time in Holding Down the Fort by US VetWealth history that we are partnering with an incredible nonprofit, the Rosie Network, who's all about empowering our military community with the tools to become entrepreneurs. And their mission statement is very much in alignment with US VetWealth, our show sponsor, and the company that I'm so proud to be a co-owner of. The commonality our organizations have, US VetWealth and the Rosie Network, is our desire to equip the military community to become self-sufficient, to aspire to attain financial stability, and more importantly, to live the autonomous life that they aspire. And this season, we are going to be featuring so many incredible people from the Rosie Network and from my company, US VetWealth, to hear how they did it. How are these people doing more than following orders, thinking outside of the box? And as corny as it sounds, and I'll tell you, I actually did not want to use the word manifesting, but I was looking up things in the thesaurus and just trying to find another word for this, but nothing better describes the stories we hear in the show of people who actually are manifesting their dreams. And what does that really mean? Well, it means that you're going to be listening to people who have been able to build something that they didn't see initially. They just had faith that there was something better and more exciting for them out there, and they were going to get it, even though they didn't know what it looked like. They didn't know what it was going to be. They didn't know the name. They didn't know the description. They just knew that they wanted something better for themselves. And that's why I decided to, in my opinion, as corny as it sounds, you may not think it's corny, but I think it's corny. And at this point, I have to embrace it because it's the only way to describe these individuals is how they have manifested their dreams. So I'm excited. Actually, just a little background here. We have been conducting these interviews. First and foremost, let me backtrack here. We started, when I say we, I'm talking about my team at US VetWealth, particularly in conversation with my husband, Scott, who is the founder and CEO of US VetWealth. We've been having a lot of offline conversations about where do we want to take Holding Down the Fort moving forward. And early on in this year meaning 2023, we had this epiphany that we wanted to collect, or we wanted to surround ourselves with people who, and I'm going to keep reiterating this so you know what this next season is going to be about. We wanted to continue to surround ourselves as entrepreneurs, as business owners, around people who are similar to our journey. Those who are aspiring for more than following orders, thinking outside the box and manifesting their dreams. And it was just a beautiful full circle moment when we realized that it meant coming back home to the Rosie Network. My husband was part of one of their original cohort programs way back in 2016, 2017, around that time. And it's been years since we've been involved with the Rosie Network. And it's because of them that I'm so fortunate to call myself an award-winning podcaster. To now, we are at this place where we've always wanted to find a way to give back. And we found it. We found it by being able to feature Service to CEO cohort members today here in season 7 of Holding Down the Fort by US VetWealth. And again, the reason why we wanted to feature them is because I just love being around more like-minded people. I love hearing stories of like-minded people. And I like to be reminded that I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy, having lived this self-employed life for, I'd say, 13 years now at this point. I think I started off way back in October 2010. Yeah, so 13 years. It's quite a long time to live the path less taken. So yay me, I guess. I guess I should give myself a pat on the back. But I didn't do it alone. And you will find, in these interviews how so many other people who decided to take the path less taken, who their support system is, what they did. And definitely one of the key themes I got is that no one ventured in this life alone. No one pursued this life alone. No one stepped out of this life alone. They needed community. They needed a mentor. They needed a quote unquote business bestie, which is a phrase I often heard from the guest from the Service to CEO cohort program by the Rosie Network. Takes a village, which is why, again, this show has been going on for over 150 episodes. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful to be a part of a village. And this is something I know that Lynne had hoped as well in leaving the show, but not leaving the community. If you listen to that last episode, that this community will continue on with or without her. And I'm so excited to now be doing that in partnership with the Rosie Network and, featuring people that I work with and our clients on the show as well. And the reason why we're doing all this is in hopes that if you, the listener, are aspiring for something more at the bare minimum. You're aspiring for more, but you don't know what it looks like. You're trying to figure out if you need to get all your ducks in a row first before you aspire for it, or you should just dive right in. And you're just going to hear so many different stories of, people who decided to start their own businesses or, decided to work a full-time job while pursuing things on the side, or people who, changed careers right out of the military because they didn't want to translate what they did in the military into the civilian world. They wanted a completely different identity. I mean, so many stories that I've had the fortune of listening to since summer of this year. And to now finally be here in the fall, the weeks of post-production, the weeks of getting to re-listen to these stories and to be re-inspired and to be reminded of the incredible community that I am so proud to say that I grew up in. It's just, I'm speechless. I'm so speechless. Even though I've been talking for like 10 minutes now, I am speechless, okay? So I'm excited to take you on this journey. Let me kind of break this down for you on what to expect for this season. This season, we're going to be experimenting on a couple of approaches to telling these stories. Some of these stories are going to be interview style, meaning that I will be there alongside with the guest, asking them questions, having a conversation with them. Some stories I plan on narrating. I plan on guiding you through the guest story. And the other stories, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But it's going to be ultimately, or the bottom line is that you will get what you're looking for, which is inspiration to aspire for more than following orders, think outside the box, and manifest your dreams. And I hope that in, approaching this in different styles, and it's my hope that I get to show you how I get to do that by switching it up this season. Historically, we primarily focus on interview style episodes with the occasional me doing a solo episode or something. And this season, we're going to mix it up because this is what we do, to think outside of the box and manifest our dreams. I'm going to use that phrase until I don't think it's corny, but it's probably always going to be corny to me. So there's that the style of the episodes are going to vary depending on the guest, depending on how we ended up doing the final editing for it. And then the most exciting part this season, it'll be the first time that we are going to be offering a ton of bonus content. Some of the bonus content may show up at the end of every episode. Like if you're kind of like, oh my gosh, I wanted more of that conversation. You may or may not. I don't want to make any promises right now. You may or may not, listen to additional conversations after the outro music, or you'll get an opportunity to check out the show notes of each episode to dive in further, to get, let's say, potentially the full conversation that we have with these guests and additional resources, additional commentary that they may want to share since they did this recording. You will learn in each episode how to get access to that bonus content. So if you really like a guest, you really want to connect with them, or you really want to get more content from them, we will tell you all about that in the upcoming episodes. For now, what I will tell you to do is to check out the show notes of this episode. And if you are new to podcasting, or if you're looking at your mobile device or however you're listening to this, I don't know what you mean by show notes. No worries. Just visit holdingdownthefortpodcast.com, holdingdownthefortpodcast.com. And when you come across this episode, in which we actually have a search bar on our website. So if you're looking for any particular episode, you can just type it in there in the search bar. You can type in the episode number specifically or the person's name, and it'll show up. And when you click on that episode, that's where you'll be able to get more information, such as how to get a hold of the guest, or the additional content, the additional commentary that they want to share to you. You will get all of that at holdingdownthefortpodcast.com and then some. So there you have it. Let me see. Did I get that all right? So again, super, super grateful for the Rosie Network. Shout out to Stephanie and Trisha and Ebeth and everyone that I have been communicating with via email and on the phone and Zoom, to make this partnership possible. It's an incredible blessing. I will say that now. It's an incredible blessing to have spent a good portion of my summer when I should be vacationing. But as an entrepreneur, who vacations? There's that funny phrase, I'll sleep when I'm dead. I don't literally mean that. It's a saying. Just wanted to set that disclaimer there. And yeah, it was just such a pleasure and such a blessing to have listened to all of these incredible stories. And I hope that you will get a ton of value out of it as well. And that you will want to reach out to these individuals and you will want to eat up all the bonus content that's going to be available in the show notes. And again, if you don't know where to find that, check out holdingdownthefortpodcast.com. What else to talk about? I guess that's it, y'all. So welcome to season 7 of Holding Down the Fort podcast by US VetWealth in partnership with the Rosie Network. I'm excited. That's all I can say. I'm incredibly excited and I hope you are too. I hope that you subscribe to this podcast, subscribe to our newsletter. Again, you can learn all about this at holdingdownthefortpodcast.com, or how to get a hold of me if you have any issues. You're like, I don't know how to do any of this. All good. Like I said, I'll be sure to include that on the website, which is desktop and mobile friendly. So if you're listening to this on your phone, you can open up that phone browser right now and go to the website. And I look forward to bringing you along this journey and sharing the stories of these incredible individuals in our military community, and also those who are living the post-military life. Once again, I'm Jen Amos, a Gold Star daughter and veteran spouse and an entrepreneur and your host. Or I already said that. Ha ha ha. And yeah, your host. And I hope that my commentary is entertaining for you and that you'll enjoy this season. So with that said, first official episode takes place Monday, September 25th. That's Monday, September 25th, the start of fall, the official start of fall, not post Labor Day, by the way. I always thought that fall started in Labor Day, and then I looked it up and I was like, oh, it actually starts in September 25th. So there you go. So first official episode with our first official guest from the Rosie Network will feature Monday, September 25th. Can't wait. Remember to subscribe. Check out holdingdownthefortpodcast.com. And I so look forward to seeing you then. Chat later. Bye for now. Hey, this is your host, Jen Amos. Thanks again for listening to today's episode of Holding Down the Fort by US VetWealth. Visit holdingdownthefortpodcast.com to access the full show notes of this episode, including resources mentioned and bonus content. Once again, that's holdingdownthefortpodcast.com. Lastly, stay after this outro music for something a little extra. Thanks again and chat soon. Bye for now. All right. Hey, everyone. Look at you. You stuck around after the outro because you heard me say, hey, stick around if you want to hear some bonus content. Well, here it is. First and foremost, I have to correct myself. Fall does not officially start on September 25th. It actually starts on September 23rd. And I decided to start the show, the first Monday of fall, which happened to be September 25th. I always kind of assumed that fall started after Labor Day because that's usually when the weather would dramatically drop and it would get colder and the leaves start changing and all the things. But over here in Hampton Roads, it's still hot AF. And if you don't know what AF means, that is completely okay because I just totally sound like a Gen Z just now. And I'm not. I'm a millennial, by the way. More like an older millennial, I'd like to think. Anyway, welcome to the post episode recording. This is going to be a sneak peek into what to expect in regards to our bonus episodes. And by the way, I thought I would bring on a guest, which is my phone Siri, to confirm to all of you when fall begins. So give me 1 second here. I'm going to have Siri join us on the microphone right now just to double, triple confirm that fall does not start on September 25th. It starts on the 23rd here in America, at least. So, all right, let me ask Siri. Hey Siri, when does fall begin in America?
Fall begins September 23rd, 2023.
There you go. That's the official, according to this AI, which, is sweeping the land here in the tech world, the digital age. Siri says that fall starts September 23rd. Yeah, so this post episode is going to be a mixed bag of things. It might be an opportunity for me to correct myself. It might be an opportunity to share additional announcements from maybe the guest who was on the show. Or this may just be a teaser for you all to get access to more bonus content. And so the big announcement that I would like to share at the end of this trailer is that Holding Down the Fort by US VetWealth will have a drumroll, a free portal for anyone who wants to get additional bonus content. That sounds a little redundant, and that's okay. Bonus additional content, depending on the guest we interview or depending on the resources that were mentioned, or including fun stuff like outtakes from the recordings. Because I got to tell you, this season, man, I have so much to say about this season. This season was really made with a ton of love and labor and mistakes. And I am so excited, especially for people who have asked me, hey, Jen, how do you start a podcast? Well, part of why I want to offer this bonus content is for anyone who has ever asked me that question. I am now going to take you through my journey as a podcaster in our free portal for Holding Down the Fort. And the way to get access to that is to check out our website, holdingdownthefortpodcast.com. And if you check the show notes of this episode, again, if you don't know how to check on your phone, all good. Just check out the website, holdingdownthefortpodcast.com. And in the show notes of this episode, which I'm going to reiterate this over and over again, because believe it or not, some people are listening to podcasts for the first time. Could you believe that? Even though podcasting has been around for nearly 2 decades, some people are still fairly new to podcasting, and I am here to walk you through that journey. And again, if you are more of like, hey, let me just give me a website, holdingdownthefortpodcast.com, visit that website, do a search of this episode number. So for example, this is episode number 152, I believe, if I'm getting that right. And if it's not the first episode, it will definitely pop up when you search those numbers in the search bar of the website, holdingdownthefortpodcast.com. And when you check out the show notes, you will see a special link that will invite you to join our free portal. And like I said, in that free portal, anything goes. This free portal is actually brought to you by US VetWealth and our online portal, Military Retirement Blueprint. You'll learn more about that later. But the point is that we are dedicating a space in our online platform, our online community, just for Holding Down the Fort, to give you access to all the bonus fun stuff that I keep mentioning here. And part of that is giving you a candid commentary on my podcasting journey so that, again, for anyone that asks me, hey, how do you start a podcast? Well, I think it's just best to take you through the journey and you can decide for yourself if this is the type of path you want to take, especially if you are a entrepreneur or a personal brand and you're really trying to get your name out there or trying to build community. You want to do a different form of networking that doesn't necessarily require you to go to your local networking events. You want to do more home-based stuff like I've been doing for the last 4 years with this podcast. And I got to tell you, building a network with this podcast has been game-changing. And as I said, I will talk all about that in our free portal. Check out holdingdownthefortpodcast.com. Check out the show notes of this episode, and you will be able to get access to joining this portal and coming along on my journey. You're going to hear me give commentary just like this. And sometimes I'll be on video, sometimes I'll be on audio. Really depends on my mood. Depends on the day. But yeah, it'll just kind of depend on my mood. But for the most part, I'll provide as much bonus content, audio with transcript and, all the things. I'll try to do my best to give you what you need to learn what it's like to be a podcaster. Or if you already are a podcaster and you're looking to, peer into someone else's podcasting journey, then this is the perfect platform to do it, amongst other things. So this is one of many teasers that I will continue to roll out after each episode. So thank you for hanging around. And I'm actually going to continue this conversation in our free portal. So if you want to hear more about this journey, go ahead and, like I said, go to the website, holdingdownthefortpodcast.com. Check out the show notes, especially if you do not know how to do it on your mobile device. And I look forward to seeing you there. And I hope that you enjoy the commentary that I will have to provide then. With that said, thank you so much for listening. And we are so excited for you to listen to the first guest from the Rosie Network that's going to be joining us on Monday, September 25th. Talk to you then. Bye for now.